Hello, I'm Stewart Jackson, and I work as a family counselor. And in that work, I'm very keenly aware of how much pressure families are under these days as, for safety's sake, we are relating to each other and living in a way that's we may not be used to. A lot more togetherness. I know that it's made me have a new disease that I just made up, or maybe I discovered it. I'm calling it Pan-dementia. The symptom is that I can never remember what day it is. So maybe that's the same for you, and that bad joke might point to something that is real, though, is that we are living in a new structure and a new way of relating to each other. We might be getting up later, or going to bed earlier, or watching more TV. I know one person wrote and said that she was going to practice self-distancing from her refrigerator because that has become an issue for her. Well, when families are forced to be together for safety's sake, it requires some new thinking about how we're going to relate to each other. I was thinking about an old, story or rhyme that I learned as a child. It was this: there was an old woman who lived in a shoe, had so many children, she didn't know what to do. I'm going to stop there because you can look it up, and because what she did, I'm not sure I can recommend. But it made me think of the stress of having lots of people in the house when you might be used to having a little more time alone. So how do we move through this time? How do we get through it? Just remember my mother and father, when they faced a global pandemic. It wasn't a virus, it was a war. My father was 21 when, as a lieutenant, he was sent to Germany. And the horrors that he saw there affected him the rest of his life. And my mother's role changed dramatically from what she had been. She was used to being more of a social person and enjoyed every party she ever went to. But she went to work, and she became skilled at working. And for the rest of her life, whether it was volunteer or paid, she worked all of her life as in administrative and in helpful health giving ways. Their relationship changed, their roles changed, the way they related to each other changed. It was very different than what they thought they were going to get. But if you haven't realized by now, is that none of us gets what we expect. We either get more or less, depending on the level of our expectations. And this certainly will turn out different for us. So one thought I had just to bring up today is that if you're sheltering in place and have children that you're responsible for, and or work that you used to do and need time to do, and that just a reminder that just like I can't remember what day it is, so my structure is all off. Structure helps everyone. Every organism on this planet is structured in a way to achieve its purpose. And every family grows into a structure, and that structure has been pulled out from under us. And we are going to have to use our minds to come up with new ways to structure your time and the ways in which you're relating. I think of it this way, my little graphic, is that we're having to focus on and rethink what are our roles, what is my responsibility, and what is the quality and the structure of our relationships that we're doing. Roles, responsibility, and relationship. I think these things are going to change. I don't think we're going to get back to the way things used to be. It's going to be a different way, and we're going to have to adjust our roles. When my father came home from the war, mentally shattered and emotionally drained from what he saw in the concentration camps of Germany, where he was in charge of displaced persons at Dachau. He was a different man, just like his father was when his father came home from World War I. They entered a crisis in their relationship, my mother and father. How will we relate to each other now? How can we move forward? They rethought it, they grew into it, and they accomplished that. Now, this is our turn. This is our crisis, and we must rethink the structures of the roles, the responsibility, and the relationship. In my opinion, everything must be on the table for discussion, because in a pandemic, it's all hands on deck. If you're used to doing all the housework, and other people enjoy that, then all hands on deck means we got to work together on this. We've got to rethink what we are each doing to be the most responsible family member we can be. So I wish you well. Stay well. Happy adjusting. See you next time.